next one is information system. The auditor should obtain an understanding of the information system, including the related business processes relevant to financial reporting. At kasama nga na dito yung the classes of transactions in the entity's operations that are significant to financial statements, the procedures within both IT and manual systems by which those transactions are recorded, processed, and reported in the financial statements, and the related accounting records, whether electronic or manual, supporting information and specific account in the financial statements in respect of the recording, the processing, and the reporting of the transactions. And how the information system captures events and conditions other than classes if the transaction that are significant to the financial statements. And the last one is the financial reporting process used to prepare the entity's financial statements, including the significant accounting and the disclosures. Kung mapapansin natin, it's all about the financial statements kasi nga we are talking about to the information relevant to the financial reporting. Next is examination of transactions and records. Like what I've said earlier, that the auditor should obtain an understanding of the information system. This understanding involves the knowledge of the ways in which the transactions are valued, classified, recorded, and summarized in data files. Auditors want to identify, first is the source documents. Dito na makikita natin siya sa General Ledger Master Files. And second, affected by the transaction. Third, the nature of the computer files, documents, and the relevant accounting reports produced and processed in the general flow of the information to the general ledger and the financial statements. And also, the auditor want to examine the valuation model used to prepare the accounting estimates. Kasi baka mamaya maling model or methods yung pala yung ginagamit ng company or may iba silang approach. So, mahihirapan sila dito, especially if the company is kumuha ng outside party na auditor. So, ina-examine din to ng auditor to have better understanding. And it is impossible naman for the auditor to understand all the transaction. So the auditor normally identifies and gains a high level of understanding sa mga transaction na importante and necessary sa financial reporting and sa financial statements. And the number one transactions are those with the high materiality. Kasi nga, it is material to the company, so magkakaroon siya ng malaking effect sa financial statements. For further explanation naman ng materiality, may ibang group na magdi-discuss. And second are those related to client business operations. And the last one are those with increased risk of misstatement. The risk of misstatement increased when the transaction system execute transactions like kapag merong automatic check printing. Second is the accounting system. Understanding the overall flow of transactions through the accounting system involves consideration of the nature and the sources of principal inputs, key outputs, important master files, and interchange of information throughout the system. Ito yung mga importante when we are talking about accounting system. And the understanding of accounting system naman requires assessment of the apparent quality of processing, including the history of misstatement. And then, whether the system is now or has been significantly changed, the experience and competence of staff who is operating the system and the complexity of transaction process by the system are also important to consider. The next one is the computer environment. Auditors obtain a high level but not detailed understanding of the computer environment. They usually look at the principal elements of the computer environment and the control structure. And then, to gather this information naman na maaring magamit ng auditor is ang ginagamit nila is interviewing various management personnel responsible for the system. To understand the computer environment, the degree of centralized or decentralized control and the relationships between various important processing locations is examined. The auditors also consider the principal types of systems, software, including the access control or security program, and the library control software, and the principal programming languages, data retrieval reporting languages, database managers, communications, and the most important is the operation system. When we are talking computer environment kasi, under niya yung computer information system. So, magbibigay ako ng characteristic of computer information system. First is lack of visible transaction trails. Sa manual system kasi, need pang i-examine yung source documents bago siya ma-record. While sa computer information system naman, ay hindi na. Pero due to the absence of visible documents, supporting the processing of the transaction kasi, the examination evidence is more difficult kasi nga, hindi tayo gumagamit ng source document. The second one is consistency of the performance. The computer information system performs the functions exactly what is programmed by the company. Like, inuulit niya lang kahit sobrang dami na ng transaction. For example nito, kapag yung system natin is nakaprogram na ang account receivable natin will directly recorded as sales, then the computer information system will perform what is programmed. So, lahat ng AR natin mapupunta sa sales, ganon. And it will never get tired of performing the assigned task in exactly the same manner. And maiiwasan din kasi ng company ang clerical error. Ang clerical error kasi, error ito sa copying or writing. Like kapag namamali tayo ng sulat na account or namamali ng record kung kaninong account siya papasok. Sa manual system kasi, napapagod yung mga yung mga accountants natin. And dito naman sa computer information system ay hindi kasi system nga siya. Third is to access to data and computer programs. Since in computer information system, pwedeng ma-access ng unauthorized person, so the company can limit or restrict the access on the data files to the authorized person only. Kasi pwede na siyang lagyan ng password or anything na makakadagdag security sa mga data files ng company. And the fourth one is the concentration of duties. It is about the segregation of duties, since the segregation of duties is an essential characteristic of a sound internal control system. The fifth one is the systems generated transactions. Computer information system can do some work without any input documents, like the computer of the interest. It will automatically charge in the customer's account, pero syempre, there's a pre-authorized terms contained in the program. And sixth is the vulnerability of data and program storage media. In manual kasi, nakasulat lang siya sa worksheet or sinusulat lang siya sa worksheet or any substantial paper. So, it is easy to lose or destroy. And sa sa computer information system naman, the information is easy to change and to recover and mahanap the missing records. For example, kapag may sunog, kasi kapag may sunog, tapos manual system pa rin yung ginagamit ng company, then nasunog yung buong building, so mawawala na or masusunog na rin yung mga records natin. Unlike kapag naka-computer information system ka naman, is kahit masunog yung buong company, basta may may site or may website na andun lahat ng files nyo, madali na siyang ma-recover yung mga records ng transaction ng company.